Hello, my soon-to-be sophomores. We're going to go over the enrollment instructions. The first thing that you need to do is to go to PowerSchool like you're checking your grade. On the left-hand side, you will see where it says class registration, a little chair and a pencil. We want to click on that. That should bring you to a page that looks like this at the bottom. We're going to take a look at the core classes first. That's English, Math, Science, and History. Everybody has to take 4 years of English, and then you have 3 of each of the other core classes unless you are an honors student. So reminder, you want to make sure that you're taking English, Math, Science, and History every year if you are wanting to graduate with honors. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is the section that says English. And over here on the side, you will find this little pencil. I'm going to click on the pencil, and it will show you your choices for classes. There are 3 different choices for sophomores. A lot of you will enroll in English 2 or Honors English 2. This is the first time that sophomores are being allowed to take AP Language and Composition, so that's really exciting, and that might be an option if you're looking for a challenge. Frequently asked question, what is an AP class and should I take it? AP means that at the end of the class you'll take a rigorous test, and if you pass that test you can earn some college credit. Should you take an AP class? It would be for someone who has good grades and attendance, someone who turns in their work, someone who's looking for a challenge. Okay, so make your selection for English, and then to save that, you're going to need to go down to the bottom of your page and click OK. Now that you've clicked OK, you should be able to see that. Okay, so you'll see the little square right here. Now we know we've got that in your list of requests. All right, what if you make a mistake and you click the wrong thing? It's okay, it's not the end of the world. What you'll do is you'll just go back and click on the pencil again, and it'll show you the options again. You can always click and unclick different classes. You can choose more than one class. In the end, to save it, you're just going to click OK again. Some people ask, what if I want to take an honors class, but I didn't take any last year? We always encourage you to try taking the next level up or to try to challenge yourself. I think that would be great. If you're not really sure, it might be good to ask. If you want to take an advanced math class, ask your math teacher if he or she feels like you're ready and get kind of their input, and that can help you make that decision. All right, the next category is math. So let's click over here on the pencil for math. And here are our choices. If you took Algebra 1 last year, then you're going to select Geometry or Honors Geometry. If you took Geometry or Honors Geometry already, then you're going to go to Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2. And then a few of you actually took Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2 just this last year, and you will be ready for pre-calculus, which is pretty impressive. Okay, after you make your selection, don't forget to hit OK. And then you'll see that box pop up too. So now you know you've got your 2 requests, one for English, one for your math. Okay, next is science. You'll click on the pencil, see your choices. If you took physical science last year, then you are ready for biology or honors biology. If you took biology already, then you are ready probably for chemistry or honors chemistry. Okay. After you make your selection, you want to click OK. And then again, we should be able to see that in all of your requests over here. Next up, history. Again, click on the pencil. You've got some choices on this. Most people will take the world history or the honors world history, but we have a good class called AP Human Geography that covers a lot in the area of geography and culture. And that is an AP class where you can earn college credit at the end if you pass the test. After you make your selection, click OK, and then you'll see your history class. Just something to remind you of, to graduate, all students are going to have to take 1 extra unit of math or science or history. And because it's pretty challenging to take 2 math classes at once, we don't really recommend that. Most of the students will choose to take an extra science or a history for their extra unit. And the sophomore year is a great time to get this out of the way so you can have more flexibility, more time for fun things your junior and senior year. One thing that you want to watch out for, though, is please do not sign up for U.S. history as your extra unit, because you'll have to take state mandated test over that your junior year. So we want everybody to take the U.S. history your junior year. Other than that, you can look at your other choices. All right, the fun part, electives. Another graduation requirement is every student has to have 2 years of the same language or 2 years of technology. If you are wanting to graduate with honors, you need to choose the foreign language option. If you are college bound, I would also recommend choosing that option. Some people ask, well, what if I want to take both? Can I take a foreign language and a technology? Absolutely. You absolutely can. Okay, so for those two categories, the same as what we've been doing. We're going to click on the pencil. You can see your choices. If you don't see what you're looking for on there, be sure and take a look at the bottom. A lot of these will go on more than one page, and that's kind of tricky. Once you've made your selection, then click OK, and you should be able to see that in your list of requests. Another graduation requirement is the fine arts class. We really push our students to get that done during their freshman or sophomore year, so if you have not done that, you want to choose one of those for sure. If you've already taken your fine arts class, do you have to take another one? No, you do not. You can skip this selection, or some people choose to take it every year, and that's fine too. Okay, make your selection. And again, there are going to be lots of pages of these electives, so you may have to go down to the next page. They're all in alphabetical order. Some of these classes you're going to see out to the right-hand side, it will have what we call a prerequisite. And a prerequisite just means something you must have done before you take this class. So if you look at design, here it says you have to have taken Art 1 before you enroll in that. Some other classes that might have a prerequisite would be the chorus classes. They require an audition. So what I've done is kind of shown you that there, and I've put Mr. Johnson's contact information in that so that you can contact him about an audition. What we want you to do, though, in the meantime, is we want you to put down in place of, let's say you want to try out for show choir, then in place of that, let's put in tenor bass chorus, that's the men's chorus, or treble chorus, and that's the women's choir. We're going to use that as a placeholder. It'll hold your spot, and then what happens is the counselors will get a list of classes, a list of students from the teachers saying who's made it into the different choirs, and then we will go in and replace your tenor bass or your treble with something like show choir, or concert choir, or jazz chorus. Okay, next coming up is PE or athletics. Some people ask, do I have to take one? And that's because sometimes schools have requirements, but we do not. At EHS, you do not have to take a PE course. It's up to you. Another question students ask is, do I have to try out? And no, we don't have tryouts for sports here at EHS. You do need to have a way to get to and from practice, and you are going to be asked to have a physical before you start participating in a sport. All right, so in this section, athletics and PE, let's click on the pencil. If you're taking more than one sport, so if you have one sport in the fall and then you play something else in the spring, we want you to put just the sport that you play in the fall. The reason we want you to do that is your coach, sometime in December, is going to get you ready for that next class. They have to make sure you check in all your equipment. So we have a special process for that. And so as not to confuse the computer, we want to make sure you put down just that first sport, and just know that we will get you changed over to your spring sport once we get to the end of the semester. Your coach may also this year ask you to take a weight training class. In this case, let's say you want to play basketball, you would be clicking on basketball and basketball weights. But we, the counselors, don't know if this is going to be a requirement. And if you aren't sure what your coach wants, or you feel like you don't have room in your schedule, you can just click on the sport and leave the weight training out until we get some more information about that. Some of the classes that you may have tryouts for would be cheerleading or pom. And if you want to do cooperative PE, then that would require a letter. So you look out to the side, you can see those prerequisites are listed out there. The same thing that we did for a music class that you had to try out for, we're going to do that. We're going to do that in place here. I'm going to put a placeholder, in here. Just put in PE. So in other words, you want to be on cheer, you're going to have to try out, put in PE, and then when we get the list, of those who made it, then we'll go back and put that in your schedule for you. Sometimes students will ask, what is the difference, or what is being an athletic trainer? If you select the athletic trainer option, it means you are wanting to be the trainer for one of our athletic teams. Under electives, there is a class called Care and Prevention of Athletic Injuries. If you go to the electives spot, you can find that one, and that is the class that is available for people who still want to learn how to treat injuries but do not want to be one of our athletic trainers on our team. All right, let's review just a moment. How many classes do we need again? You need 4 core classes, and you're going to pick 3 electives. What we're headed for is a total of 10 credits. All right, so our next category, 10th grade electives. I've put a link at the bottom of the screen so you can link and go to the registration guide, which is on the EHS website under enrollment. But you can click on that link and it'll take you, so that way you can look at some of these classes, what they're called, and you'll have a description there to tell you what's going on with those classes. Okay, we are almost done. One thing that can happen is you may not get an elective that you request. Perhaps the class gets too full and there aren't room for any more, or you might have 2 classes that are offered at the same time, so you're going to have to pick between one or the other. So we're going to need to have you choose some 10th grade alternate electives. So the next section, make sure that you are on the section that says alternate electives, not electives, but alternate electives. If you have year-long classes, and you think, oh, if I don't get that class, what would I want to take instead? You want to pick an alternate for your electives. So look at a class and think, okay, if I don't get this for my elective, what would I like to take instead? You're going to need to watch out because most classes are 2 semesters long. Most of them are a year long. But on the back of your pre-enrollment form, if you see the word SEM, S-E-M, behind the class, what that means is it's only a semester class. So you're going to need to pick 2 of those. And you put those 2 together, and then you'll have a full year. So on your alternate electives, if you have some classes that you picked earlier, say zoology or astronomy, something like that, then you're going to need to pick some alternate electives that are also just semester classes. All right. We want to check when you're finished at the bottom of the page. We should have 7 credits. Okay, so I showed you maybe what this might look like. If you have 8, that's too many. You're going to have to go back and take something out. Let's say you have 5, then you have to go add some more classes in. So what we want is exactly 7 credits at the bottom of the page. And all of these requests don't get saved into the computer until you hit submit. So please make sure that you hit submit so you can see what classes you've got. All right, I think you did it. Here is my email. So any questions that you have, try to make sure that I'm on call here. I can answer those for you over the email. And other than that, we look forward to seeing you in August.